I cannot believe it is wild card weekend, Anson. When we first started doing Sunday pregame shows, it was the first Lions game of the season. That was 18 weeks ago. We were sitting on my couch. Now we're here. We got this beautiful screen behind us letting us know what's going on in the playoffs. And this is like the best weekend in NFL football.
This season flew by, and it has been awesome. Probably my favorite season of football ever, despite a pretty bad record in Detroit here.
Yeah. So we get to watch some playoff caliber teams today, which is exciting. And yesterday we got to see more playoff caliber teams. And we got to say what's up to everybody that's watching us right now on Facebook Live, on YouTube Live, and on Twitter Live. Make sure you share this because just like we've been doing all season long, we want to give away some money today.
Yes, we do.
So it's real easy, and the game we picked that you got to guess is the Browns and the Steelers.
Now, that's $1,000?
$1,000.
So for $1,000, can somebody look as dapper Dan Day over here?
You like this?
I love it.
This is my new look. This is going to be like my reporting blazer.
It's beautiful. I love it.
And I still get to wear the T-shirt underneath, which
it looks good, man.
Thanks,
man. Role reversal here today.
Yeah, you usually look fresh. I felt like I didn't even have to tell you that I was going to wear a blazer, that you'd still look good, and then you roll in wearing my old gear. But right. Next week, we'll both be in here looking fresh, right?
Absolutely, always.
So if you want your chance at that $1,000 today, it's real simple. You got to guess who's going to score the first touchdown of the Browns versus Steelers, the final score of the game, and then make sure you share this Facebook Live, retweet, or subscribe.
Sharing's real important.
Yeah, sharing is very important. It's one of the 3 steps. If you guess the score and get the first touchdown, you don't share, doesn't matter.
Yeah, get your friends and family involved. I mean, got a lot of opportunities to get your guesses in and
I just wanted to be known that Anson has never come remotely close.
Oh,
yeah?
I've come pretty close, especially through halftime.
I mean, what's your definition of pretty close?
Well, no, I mean, there's been times I've been worried we're going to have to tell Anson he can't win the $1,000 even though we don't pay him. So he's like, wait, I guessed it and I still can't win?
I'd get a lunch or something. Right?
Yeah, no, we'd hook you up. We'd hook you up for sure. And we can't forget to acknowledge Adam on producer Mike today. Hey, Adam, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm good. You know, went 3-0 yesterday, my pick. So, you know, come in looking fresh, looking clean.
That's right. How'd you enjoy yesterday's football games?
I love football, man.
Yeah.
I could watch 3 games every Sunday. I'd be a happy guy.
Yeah, this weekend's like bittersweet because this is like the last like splurge of football. Then it gets less games, all the way down to 1 game. And then it's the end of the season. But this weekend is my favorite weekend by far. The best teams going at it. Yesterday we had the Colts playing the Bills. A lot of people thought this was going to be a blowout. The Bills were going to run away with it. We thought it was going to be a little bit of a closer game here at Woodward Sports, and it was.
Yeah, a lot of close games yesterday. I mean, the Colts are just tough. They're gamers, man, all over the field.
Well, that's why Adam loves the Kevin Dodds to come here as the GM.
Ed Dodds.
Ed Dodds, yeah. And that's why right there. You saw, even though they didn't get over the hump, and mostly to do because Phillip Rivers is going to Phillip Rivers. Like, you give that guy the ball, 2 minutes left, down 6, you know damn well they're not going to score. That's just been the story of that dude's career.
You know damn well they're not going to win.
Yeah.
But we pretty much would have thought damn well that they wouldn't have been in the playoffs. So you got to hand it to that squad.
Oh, no, I thought they were a solid squad all season. They were one of my darlings. 2 of my darlings got smacked yesterday.
But to start the season, there was no hope for the Colts. I didn't think they were going to be a playoff team.
Oh, I did for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming in with that number 3rd-ranked offensive line. Then you had Jonathan Taylor. You
are a Taylor guy.
I am a Jonathan Taylor guy.
No doubt.
You just put a running back like that behind a line like that, you should make the playoffs.
Yep.
But ended up losing. The Bills won 27-24. Bills Mafia, though. Can we talk about these guys? Like the way they break tables?
You know, it's nice to see a new breed of fan kind of emerge in the NFL because I think with the Raiders leaving, there really isn't a kind of a rabid fan base right now.
No, but the Bills fan base is rabid.
No doubt.
You playing that video, Adam, of the dude throwing his kid onto
Bills
a cake?
Mafia gender
Like, have you
reveal.
seen this? It's absolutely insane. And he doesn't toss the baby lightly. Like, he doesn't just set him down. It's like a good 3 feet off the ground. He just chest passes the baby through the cake.
The armpit of America, man. They get wild down in Buffalo.
The craziest play I thought in that game was Josh Allen running towards the end zone and then pulling back and throwing the touchdown to the tight end.
He's a magician. He really is, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I'm sitting here looking at these games over the weekend, and, you know, some guys were able to put up no statistics and win, and then you got guys like like Allen, and you saw what he did. And man, going forward, what do you need to win in the NFL right now?
Defense.
Yeah,
to
that's
me,
what I agree, man.
That's always the case once you get to the playoffs, because once you're playing in the playoffs, all teams can score. You need a team that can stop them. But yeah, Josh Allen, 324 yesterday, 2 touchdowns. Phillip Rivers didn't do bad. It's just crunch time Phillip Rivers, you know.
And another 54 on the ground with a touch.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers had 309 and 2 touchdowns, so not a bad game for him. No. But I'm just glad that horrible call at the end of the game, that was clearly a fumble, and they still I don't understand it, but it gives me comfort as a Lions fan to know that the refs are just shitty all over the place.
Yeah, we're not the only ones getting it.
Right. Another game yesterday, we had the Rams versus the Seahawks. This was the upset game because the Seahawks were favored in this game.
Yeah.
Adam's over there giving the money sign. Why are you giving the money sign, Adam?
Because, man, I've been right all season about this team, and it feels good. Feels good.
Well, about which team?
The Rams.
Yeah, you have been. You have been.
Yeah, I've been all season saying that this team has the best defense in the NFL.
Yes.
They finished with that record. They walk into this game underdogs. I didn't care who their quarterback was. I thought they were going to win the game, and they did.
With 9 completions. 9.
That's all you need when you got your running back putting in 131 yards on the ground and 45 on the air.
So why are we
but
talking
it wasn't
about
even
Matt Stafford in Detroit when you
the
see
offense
games like
didn't
this?
even win that game. Defense and special teams won that game.
100%.
They pinned Seahawks back. The Seahawks muffed a punt. They committed stupid turnovers and penalties. Rams played that game perfectly. And Sean McVay actually moves to 37-0 when he walks in at halftime with a lead.
Halftime, I saw that stat yesterday. That is insane.
That's
and
a
can
deep
we
cut,
can we
man.
talk about that pick 6 where you see DK Metcalf throwing his helmet on the sideline, demanding the ball. Next series out there, they try to get him in the play with this little bubble screen to the left, and the DB just undercuts it and takes it to the house.
Russell looked really poor. He looked really bad to end the season, man. And it's funny when you would have thought that Jared Goff would have been the guy that looked like that. And it was the role reversal.
Well, I mean, Russell Wilson was running for his life.
True.
The entire, running for his life. Yeah. I thought he was going to get murdered by the end of that game, the way they were chasing him around there.
He is still alive somehow.
Yeah. Well, Russell Wilson, to me, is a great quarterback. I just think when you have a good defense like that can put constant pressure on the quarterback, it completely changes the game. So that was the recap of the Rams and the Seahawks. Rams are moving on.
I'm proud of Stick yesterday, Anson. Or actually Friday.
Yeah.
He went
Stick
for Rams?
manned up on that table.
You did?
And he agreed that the Rams are going to win that game.
Wow.
Defense wins championships, baby.
It really does. Everything changes in the playoffs. The game kind of slows down. The points don't go as high. And I mean, those guys can't stop anybody in the second half of the season.
I love how Adam thinks he's the only person in the world that could possibly pick the Rams. When everybody else says, thank God you did it, because I didn't want to be the only one carrying the burden of greatness.
He loves being the only one. He loves sticking his neck out there. He's been pretty good. I can't take it away from him.
No, I mean, Adam does bring the heat, not only on the picks, but in the bedroom, ladies.
That's right, baby.
And you can follow him at Adam Baydoun because he's trying to build his brand.
No.
He's trying to build his brand.
B-A-E
No, Joey
Dune?
can think that. No,
Is it
I'm just on Twitter, so I
B-A-E
get all my information fast.
So I mean, like Bay. You know?
Oh, no, it's Bay, right? How do you spell
Baydoun.
Baydoun. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. He didn't even pick some fun Twitter name like Adam from Woodward Sports or anything like that. It's Adam Baydoun.
He don't need it.
No, that's the man right
Bay
there.
built in, man.
Go follow Adam so you can help him build his brand. He's really worried about that right now.
When you sit up there in Week 12 and say that the 11-0 Pittsburgh Steelers are the 4th best team in the NFL, it doesn't get better than that, man.
Yeah.
He's a little bit of a Steelers slappy.
Me? No,
Yeah,
I'm a
little bit.
slappy. He hates the Steelers. He
I don't
doesn't
hate them.
them. He just thinks they're inconsistent.
Yeah.
That's what we have argued about all year. I think if you get to 11-0, that's pretty consistent. He thinks it's all about how you win those 11 games.
I mean, they were consistently good. They've been kind of consistently bad since then.
Well, we're going to talk about them in just a little bit once we get to the previews for today's game. But we have one more recap from yesterday. Tom Brady's taking on the Washington football teams.
They shouldn't have been there.
I mean, they showed they should have.
Yeah, they They hung around.
They were competitive. Brady had 381 and 2 touchdowns. So Tom Brady went Tom Brady. Chase Young said he wanted Tom Brady. I want Tom is what he said. And he got Tom.
He did. We've seen a tale of two Toms all year long, and he really brought it in the playoffs, and that's what we expect from the GOAT, right?
Yeah, that's really exactly what I didn't expect that game to be even that close. I thought it was going to be an even bigger blowout than 8 points. They did come.
And you know who expected it to be close?
Adam.
This guy.
When you got Chase Young on the field, man, you're always going to be within a game.
No, don't give all the credit to
let's
Chase
be honest,
Young.
the Bucs
Don't
put
do
up
that.
31 points, so let's not stroke the defense too bad.
Well, true, but Washington
exactly.
stayed in games pretty much all season long.
Yeah, no, I believe me. Washington is another one of my darling teams that I love this year. I like the Colts.
They are.
I like Washington, and I like the Steelers all year long. So, yeah, Washington, they lost. They're out of it. But Heineke, their quarterback, can we talk about that kid for like 30 seconds?
He just earned a backup role contract for the next 10 years easily.
Potentially a starter.
Yeah.
I mean, Chase Young pointing at his jersey after touchdown passes, like they were hyping him up. The fact that kid just stepped in, first starting game is a playoff game. That doesn't happen that often, and he played well. Obviously, he didn't win the game, but that's what you want to see out of your backup. Like, I don't think Chase Daniel could have done that.
He was working with a little Flynn and Foles mojo there for sure. Be interesting to see what he can do with that contract-wise next year.
I feel like the Patriots are going to give him a ton of money. Like that's a Patriots move right there. You see one good game out of him, and you sign him, or like what the Seahawks did with Matt Flynn when he smoked the Lions when he was playing for the Packers. Gave that dude like $40 million and drafted Russell Wilson, and we never saw Matt Flynn again.
I got a little something for you. Prior to the game yesterday, there was something that Matt Stafford had done in the playoffs that Tom Brady had never done. Do you know what that was?
Not win?
Play in a wild card game.
Played a while. Oh, yeah.
Brady had never played in a wild card game.
Yeah, he'd never been on the road before.
Is that crazy?
Yeah, for the first round. He had never been on the road for the first round.
I just want a wild card game, bro. You know?
I'll take a wild card game any day
sure.
of the week here in Detroit. So now, you guys ready to get into the games that are going on today?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Oh, man. I love wild card weekend. 3 more games today. Do you guys like this new format with the one team getting the bye and an extra team making the playoffs?
You mean an extra game?
Yeah, do you like
love
this?
it.
Do you like it?
Absolutely, man.
If you're the 2 seed, do you like it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's some catches to it, but being able to have this time of year, being able to have 3 games on the weekend each day is beautiful, man.
Adam, do you like
Long time
it?
coming.
I think it's interesting. I kind of want to see how the divisional round works out because honestly, I'd be open to adding another team and have the 1st and 2nd seed getting a bye again.
Yeah.
I love more football, so you're not gonna go wrong adding more.
Wait, if you add, does that give you? That doesn't really give you another game, though.
Yeah, you do. Look behind you.
Yep.
Point at the Colts and Bills.
I'm pointing at him.
Right.
Yep.
So you move the Bills to the next round,
The bye,
and then you add an 8th team.
and then
Carry the 4.
I don't think that.
Yeah,
works.
no. So you'd have your 4 and 5 would be non-divisional winners.
I mean,
Does that make sense?
there's got to be an extra game in there.
But you're taking away a game to add a game, so there's not going to be an extra game. That's what I'm saying.
more money,
that's
more
right.
intrigue.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Give me
saying.
8 squads.
Well, you can make a play-in.
If you
but
added
that's
the
stupid.
8 team, then you couldn't have the bye with the
Yeah.
first seed.
Math
'Cause-
is hard.
Yeah, because I like the idea of that. You add more football.
I just want
but
more football.
You'd have,
Yeah,
have to
for sure.
add 3 more teams to get an extra game in that scenario. Then 10 teams are making
He's
the
right.
playoffs.
I think he's right.
Yeah, no, I know I'm right. But I like this new system. Do you think they're going to
absolutely.
carry this over to next year? Because this was more of a
They
COVID
should.
situation. This isn't a forever thing. Do you think the NFL should carry this playoff situation over to next year?
Follow the money. I mean, if there's more money, there's
think
more
it's
intrigue,
great.
right?
I think it's great, too. I love 3 games.
Puts pressure on teams too. There's only one bye week.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it forces the elite to compete all the way to the end if they
All
really
season.
want
Yep.
something. You know, there's no locking
Yep.
it up early.
Not just the
Wasn't
first
Green Bay
11
supposed
games
to
like the
miss
Steelers.
playoffs, man. Like, it's so rough seeing them with that number 1 bye. I hate it.
When you got the MVP, baby, you get that bye week. So let's get into it. 105 today.
He shouldn't be the MVP, but whatever.
Who should be?
We'll get
He
into
shouldn't
that,
be.
won't we?
Yeah, we'll talk about that near the end of the show. But let's get into the games today. Ravens, Titans. Titans are plus 3.5. Over under on this is 54.5. What are you guys thinking about this game? Every game today, I'm excited to see.
I'm going last on this
This
one.
is the hardest game to pick, in
Yeah.
my opinion, of the
This is my
entire
second
wild
favorite
card
team,
weekend.
so I'm going to go last on this one. I think so, too. I
Go
think it's the
ahead,
hardest
Adam.
one for sure.
Give us what you think.
Oh, man, this is hard. They already played earlier in the season. The Titans won the game. Fun fact, this is the first NFL playoff game that features a quarterback that ran for 1,000 yards and a running back that ran for 2,000 yards.
Wow.
And you know who found that stat?
You did?
Me. Not fucking Elias Sports Bureau, not any of those motherfuckers. I figured that shit out.
What's up, Adam Schefter? Come find the stats with Adam.
Deep cuts.
man.
What do you think is the key matchup during this game? Is it the Ravens linebackers
Oh, man,
versus Derrick Henry?
Lamar Jackson's the key matchup.
Okay.
You got to keep him in the pocket. 0-2 in the playoffs. So far, a young career, but he's averaged 44 attempts in both playoff games. That is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Anytime he's thrown over 28 times this season, the Ravens have lost. So they got to run the ball. They got to somehow control the clock and run all over that Tennessee
Anytime
defense.
over 28 passes, they've lost.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
you turn
a fantastic stat.
You turn Lamar Jackson into a passer, and you got a chance at winning any game. And that's what the Titans did to him last year in the playoffs when he looked like an unstoppable force. This year, everybody kind of copycatted what the Titans did, and it bled over into the regular season. Like, the Ravens had a rough go getting started on the season, and especially Lamar Jackson. He still doesn't have very many wide receivers to throw to. Dez Bryant is his best wide receiver right now. That says everything you need to know about the Ravens wide receiver core. And I love Dez, but this is like 97-year-old Dez.
Yeah. Lamar got figured out this year. He absolutely did. This is going to be a tough one. It really is. I think that if they can't contain Lamar, the Ravens get out ahead, and it takes Henry completely out of the game, which at that point, I don't see the Titans being able to hang in.
I mean, I trusted Vrabel. To me, I know the Patriot way sucked here in Detroit. He's kind of taking the Patriot way, but it's the Mike Vrabel way. He's not really trying to steal all the Patriot. He's doing his own damn thing with what he's learned here, and implemented what he wanted as a player. So I'm curious to see how he's going to adjust his scheme from last year, because the Ravens haven't beat these guys in over 365 days.
Yeah.
It's been like a lot longer than that, man. It's closing in on like 500 days since the Ravens have beat the Titans. And that kind of wears on you, especially when a coach has your number, shuts your quarterback down. So I'm interested to see what he does today with his adjustments. Last time it was stack the box, make him throw outside the hashes. You're going to see that again today, but are they going to put pressure on him? I don't know.
Yeah, I love Vrabel's long-term future in the NFL right now.
Oh, yeah.
He really seems to – I mean, aside from Randy Reid, I really love him to kind of be the preeminent coach.
He's a football guy. Like, you look at him, he's just a football guy.
He really is.
And that's what you need is a football guy.
So
That's what we need.
Sounds to me like you like Tennessee today.
I do. Yeah.
You do, huh?
I do like the Titans today.
Okay, to win outright or to cover the 3.5?
Both, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Or no, they're getting the 3.5, excuse me. I'm going to agree with you. I love the Ravens. I love everything about their squad, but I think that they've been figured out. I think home field means a lot today.
I don't think home field means anything, but I do know there are some. The Titans are allowed to have fans.
Yeah.
And we saw it a little bit yesterday in Buffalo, how the fans got a little bit loud, even though it was like 10,000 fans out of the 70,000 that they can have. But just seeing that inspiration in the stand, I don't know. At this point in the season, like, we've seen that because of empty stadiums, there is no home field advantage, which is crazy.
But there's still got to be some emotion that's evoked from hearing, even if it's only 5,000 fans, hearing those guys versus hearing this tape track, that's running.
Well, that doesn't run during the game. We only hear that on TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, during the game, it's dead fucking silence.
I thought that every stadium had a little bit of a different.
No.
Okay.
No, that's only for TV purposes, so we're not sitting at home and it's just quiet.
It is
Just nothing but quiet.
Must be super quiet. There's a couple of crunches
So,
out there.
Anson, you've got the Titans, huh?
What's that?
You got the Titans?
I do actually.
What's your score?
I think that it's going to go under. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I was kind of looking around 30-23.
30-23?
Yeah.
All right. Adam,
Wow.
I know we picked on Friday. Are you going to stick with your score that you picked on Friday?
Oh, man. The Ravens, I just have a bad feeling about this. Like, something in my head tells me Monday I'm going to wake up and everyone's going to be praising Lamar Jackson and the Ravens and that he can actually throw the ball. But I'm going to stick with my pick. I think 28-27 Tennessee.
I like that pick.
Well,
I do like that pick.
Barn burner. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, no, I love this type of football. It's two smash mouth teams. You love the defense on the Ravens. You love the defense on Tennessee. The quarterback play, I guess, is going to make the difference. Can Tannehill step up to the plate if Henry is struggling today?
So
like, if they're able to shut down Henry, do you think Tannehill has enough in the tank to take him over?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe.
Maybe
he can kind of
a hard take.
He can run a little bit, and they do have some fantastic weapons through the air. But if Lamar gets up, I think they're cooked, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Adam?
let's remember that the Ravens have a top 5 defense, so this is by no means an easy game for the Titans.
No, it's not a layup, but we've seen the Titans over and over and over this year just run people over. Over under 5 stiff arms for Derrick Henry today. What do you guys got?
I got to go under.
Under? 1 stiff arm for Derrick Henry. What do you got?
Under.
Under? You don't think he's gonna? You don't think he's gonna
I don't
throw
think he's
one
bitch
person?
smacking anyone today.
You don't think so?
No.
I will predict at least 1 Derrick Henry bitch slap today.
Who scores more rushing touchdowns, Tannehill or Lamar Jackson?
Ooh. That is a good question because
It's a tough
Tannehill
one.
is known to run and do his little.
I'm going to
Jordan
take the
shit.
running back.
You're gonna take the running back, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So my take on this game, I think it's gonna favor the Titans pretty heavily. 28-14 is my prediction.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a 2-touchdown game. I like you said, if the Titans could get ahead early and turn Lamar Jackson into a passer, this is over before it even began.
Yeah. No doubt. If they have to lean on DK and all those backs, they're out of it, man. You know, to get back into that's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's pretty much the whole big part of this game.
You can't throw the ball to Des Bryant and win a game.
No, he cannot be your number 1 wide receiver. No. Then we got another game coming up at 4:40 from the NFC North. The Chicago Bears taking on Drew Brees and the Swan Song Saints.
You can't wait.
I like this game.
Yeah.
I do like this game.
It's a big spread. I don't think it's going to be that.
No, the spread is 10.5 points. I think it's going to be a lot closer than that.
100%. I mean, you got 2 good defenses. Again, we're going into the playoffs. I don't think that it's going to be a high-scoring affair. 10.5 is tough to cover, man.
Yeah, David Montgomery, though, he's been warming up throughout the end of the season. The Bears have been trending up since, about week 10, maybe? Week 11?
No,
whenever they put
week
Trubisky
14.
back in.
Would any of you
Week
guys
14,
guess
week
that
15.
Montgomery would have been this good this year?
Yeah.
Really?
What was the question?
Montgomery, would you have ever guessed that he was going to be this good this year? Because he's been
Define
great.
this good.
I mean,
Like fantasy-wise or like in the league?
well, I mean, they're in the playoffs, fantasy-wise as well. I think he's put
Yeah,
up some
because
fantastic
Kyler Murray
numbers.
can't stay fucking healthy. I mean, and the Bears suck too. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where you're going with this.
You can't forget Tariq Cohen went down with an ACL early in the season, too. I mean,
He's trash.
I know, but he takes a lot of those catches away from him. So he may be trash, but he's going to take 4 or 5 of those little out passes, and that cuts Murray's stats in half almost.
Even taking
Montgomery.
that away from him, Montgomery looks great with the ball in his hand.
Yeah, I'm saying I thought he was going to be this good. I mean, he was supposed to be good last year, so
I'm surprised.
You expect him to find his way more in this Matt Nagy offense as it goes along. So yeah, I expected him to be good this year.
So is he going to be good enough to keep them in the game today?
Ooh,
No.
No.
What the fuck are you asking? A running back to carry a team in the playoffs against the top 5
That
defense?
was a segue, baby. I don't think so either, bro. You know, I'm not a Chicago fan.
The Bears' defense, though, does have their hands full, especially because Kamara now is playing and Michael Thomas.
Well, that's one of the big topics I wanted to bring up was the Kamara conspiracy.
Oh, what's the conspiracy?
Well, they kind of moved this game from what I'm hearing, and they had an opportunity to play it yesterday.
Really? I didn't hear that.
I don't know.
Did you hear that, Adam?
At the beginning of the week,
I don't know what the fuck browser or Google search or Bing search. I don't even
you
know what
wanna ask
Anson
Jeeves
or
for
where
this?
he gets
Okay,
his shit from, but I don't know.
All right, yeah. I got into a debate on the way with Rage and Ryan today about that. But there's kind of a strange feeling here. I don't think that there's any way that they're going to let Breeze not go past the first round in his last possible season.
Oh, so you're talking NFL conspiracy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are we doing here, guys?
Anson's giving
finding
conspiracy.
an
It's a 10.5
baby. We're finding
spread.
entry.
They're gonna lose like 40-6.
But I mean, do you think that Breeze is going to go out like this? I mean, there's no way, right?
I mean, if anything, the
Like
NFL
what?
does owe the Saints from that shitty call against the Rams
But
a
I mean,
couple years
if-
ago.
if he
they owe
loses-
the Saints.
if he loses today, does he retire or does he come back?
Yeah, he retires.
I think he
Of course,
retires.
and there's no way the NFL lets him go out as a chump, losing
You're
in the
looking
wild
way
card.
too into this, man.
I mean, it does help that he has the most talented defense on the field and the most talented offense on the field with the most talented players. I think that really helps his chances to win this game. Now, if we're talking about next week, then we can get into what we see on the field. But I will say this, the NFL does owe the Saints a lot. At least one shitty call today that could sway the game.
Now, do we know if Michael Thomas is playing or not, Adam?
Yeah, he is.
He is for sure?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what the report said. Kamara and Thomas both healthy.
Is it going to be enough to cover the 10.5?
I don't think it is.
I mean, what do you think of the Bears? Like, how much do you like them? Seriously. 10.5 is friendly. It's an 8-8 team versus a top 5 defense. Mitchell Trubisky and Matt dumbass Nagy.
An 8-8
Are we
team.
serious here?
It's an 8-8 team, but like 5 of those losses came with their backup quarterback Nick Foles.
They're a 2-6
then they switched
team
back to Trubisky and they
for
got
the second
better.
half of the season.
They got better.
They got
with
better,
Trubisky.
but look who they played. They didn't play anybody amazing. What, the Texans, the Lions?
Hey, man, you got to play who's on the schedule. What do you want me to do about that?
All right, man.
You want me to change who they played? I can't do that. They won the games in front of them and lost the games when Foles was there. I mean, me and you have been right about the Bears all season long. They started out hot, and then like 6 games in, me and Adam were like, this team's shitty, man. They're never going to make it. Then they dove. Then they put Trubisky back in, and they started to find tread again. Listen, I don't think it's going to be as big of a blowout as Adam thinks it's going to be.
I don't either. I don't think that they cover. Not in the playoffs. Not with too good of defenses like this.
The Bears cover?
Yeah, absolutely. The 10.5? I think so.
Oh, I'm thinking more than cover.
You think they're going to win?
No,
All right, go for it.
Not win, but like more than like squeak under the 10.5.
Yeah.
All right, let me hear the scores.
Well, wait. I got one more question before we get in the scores. Do you think
right.
the Saints are equipped to win the Super Bowl? Can they win it all?
No.
No.
Why?
I just don't like their, well, it's hard to say you don't like their quarterback play when realistically you got a Hall of Fame guy that just needs to turn in one great performance
Right.
because that team is good enough to get him to the playoffs. I don't really like anybody in the NFC, but man, is it? What? I don't really like anybody out of the NFC to win it this year. Do you?
The NFC is more of a crapshoot, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't somebody that I'm saying, hey, these guys, it's one of these 2 teams for sure. You know, I think anybody can come out. Packers can lose next week.
Adam, do you think the Saints can win it all?
I think they have the pieces for it, yes. They have a top 5 defense. They have the quarterback, the veteran quarterback. They have the, however you want to call it, they have those dynamic players on offense, those super threats. You have Kamara, you have Michael Thomas, even Taysom Hill. Like, this team has a lot of things that can bother teams. They're going to roll past the Bears, but I think they can go. If anybody in the NFC can go to Lambeau other than the Rams, I think it's our boys in
Man,
New Orleans.
how does the NFL handle that? They got their darling Aaron Rodgers versus the swan song in our boy Drew Brees. Like, ooh,
I don't
man,
think the
I
NFL
want to see that
handles it.
storyline.
That's all they want.
Whoever wins,
man.
wins.
I want to see that storyline, though.
It's not a storyline. Aaron Rodgers hasn't won anything significant in 10 years, and the same for Drew Brees.
I know. So one of them's got to win that game.
To go to the
That's how it
NFC
works.
Championship,
That's how it
that
works.
doesn't mean
That's how it works.
shit.
So one of them's gonna get a feather in their cap. Listen, you can dog Aaron Rodgers all you want for not winning the Super Bowl. Dude's MVP this year, like straight up MVP.
He shouldn't be
this
the
year.
MVP.
Yeah, he shouldn't be. Is that what
No.
he said?
Who?
Not over Josh Allen.
Oh,
Josh
boy.
Allen is more
Oh,
deserving
boy.
of the
Here we
MVP
go. There we go.
than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers last year was 13-3 with the same team. Granted, he had a
Right,
way
and they
better
didn't get
offensive
him
season.
any weapons. They didn't add anything to they drafted a
What do you
rookie
mean, no
quarterback
weapons?
in the first round. They drafted a running back that hardly played in the second round. They gave him the same team, and he made him good again. That's crazy.
They're not good again. They were 13-3 last year.
Right, but they didn't add anything. That's what I'm telling you.
They got way better on defense.
They could've
They have
put-
the best cornerback in the NFL.
Who? You talking about Buffalo? Is he talking about?
No, the Green Bay.
Oh,
they have
yeah,
Alexander.
I was
they have
gonna
the
say,
best corner in the
Buffalo added
NFL.
Stephon Diggs, man. Like,
personally,
that's a
I
little
think Buffalo
addition.
is,
God.
Buffalo's too complete of a team to give that nod.
All right,
in my
so
opinion.
Devontae Adams. You have
Yep.
Devontae Adams.
Good.
Offset him with Stephon Diggs. Fair? Both top 5 receivers right now.
Yeah, but
Sure.
but what happened
They're
is
the same
Buffalo didn't
situation.
have him last year. They got him this year.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't add a Stephon Diggs, and
Oh my
Rodgers
goodness.
still
Why
went
would
out.
they? They have Devontae Adams.
Because that's what Aaron
don't
Rodgers
know.
asked for in the offseason
There's a lot of
last year
balls
was
licking
help
here
on offense.
on Aaron
And that's
Rodgers,
why
and
we
I don't
thought they were going to
understand
take a wide receiver in the first
I
round to
thought
help him.
Didn't he ask for a backup quarterback?
No, he hates Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers is outside Jordan Love's house every night throwing rocks at his windows just to destroy that rookie's life.
I'm impressed to see how well he did this year with everybody thinking that he was done, man. He put up an MVP season.
48 touchdowns. 48.
It's impressive. I don't think anybody else pushes him this season. Again, we started this thing off talking about how maybe we thought the Packers weren't a playoff team, or at least right on the borderline. This guy had no tremendous season, especially coming in with all the things looming over his head, the dark clouds and whatnot.
Yeah, so for me, if the Saints make it past the Packers, they can win the Super Bowl. I think they are equipped. The top 5
Well, if
defense.
they need to get past them, that means they win in the NFC Championship game.
That's right.
So that means they're going to the Super Bowl.
That's fine.
I got to take
They
mine
still got
back.
to win the Super Bowl, though.
I got to take mine back because they have every.
They
Every
check the
portion.
boxes.
They've got all of them checked. But then the thing is they have a Hall of Fame quarterback that's been there, that's won it.
Right.
And all you need is one game from him.
Yep.
That's it.
And you have an experienced coach. You got one of the best running backs in the league, one of the best wide receivers in the league, a top 5 defense. Like, you could argue that all day that the Saints could win the Super Bowl.
They have the pieces.
If you don't think they can, you got something else coming,
The Buccaneers, I'm sorry, not the Buccaneers. The Green Bay Packers have played 2 good teams all season. They played the Colts,
The Lions.
and the Buccaneers.
And Darryl
Everybody
Bevell's
else had a
Lions.
losing record. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, and the Saints.
Yep.
They played those 3 teams that were very good. They beat the Saints 37-30. They lost to the Bucs 38-10, and they lost to the Colts 34-31. The rest of their schedule is shit. Other than the week 16 blowout against the Titans, they don't have like this amazing resume where you need to be high on them. I mean, I don't know where you guys are going with
Who,
this
on the
team.
Packers? Yeah, I'm not like crazy high on them. I was really just talking about the Saints and if they could get by the Packers to win the Super Bowl. Like, that was the question. Could the Saints win the Super Bowl? Then we went on the Packers because they got to go through them. I mean, it's tough to count out Aaron Rodgers whenever, wherever. You just over there were saying that they added pieces to the defense. So I think they both can.
But you hit the nail on
Well,
the head.
I'm not arguing against Green Bay contending. Don't get me wrong. I was making a point for Josh Allen to win MVP over Aaron Rodgers. That's all.
Meh.
Yeah, man, it's the Packers to me are a team that you don't want to see these guys at all because Aaron Rodgers can just change the game at any point.
Right.
Every opponent, it does not matter. This guy, we've seen it too close as Lions fans, what he can do at any time.
All right, well, let's talk about the Bears-Saints game. Let's give our final predictions on this game. Anson, what do you think the score is going to be? Do you think they're going to beat the spread? The over-under is 48.
I think it's going to be under. I think that they cover, but New Orleans moves on.
What's the score?
Oh, didn't I drop that earlier at 27-20?
27-20? That's
Yeah.
what you have? Okay.
Yeah, just a point under.
All right.
You can say my score, Stick. I believe in you.
You believe in me? What was your score, Adam? It was for the Saints Bears. 41-17 Saints. That's what Adam has. 41-17. You think it's going to be that big of a blowout?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Maybe they don't get to
17.
41. I'm not sure. That's just my score, but it could end 30-7, 30-10. I'm not expecting the Bears to be in this game at all.
Okay.
If there's a proper end to a fraud-ass Bears team, that would be it right there.
Yeah, and I'm always down to see the Bears lose, so I'd be happy to
Me
see
too,
that
dude.
today.
Me
Like,
too.
you can't beat the Bears enough if you beat them, so I don't care about that. But I got it 27-21, a little bit closer, but still the Saints winning this game.
Yeah.
Very close.
Huh?
Jeez. You both got them covering.
It's
That
6
surprises
points.
me.
It's not that close.
I'm so glad I don't give you guys my money.
Oh, I would have been right yesterday. I would have cashed in on all 3 of those picks yesterday with that
We both
money.
would have cashed in yesterday.
That's right. So I'd be good with your money.
They're scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, because you agreed with my picks.
I gave them first, and you hopped on my dick. Let's
Oh,
see.
please. I've been on the Rams all season, baby.
So
Jump
here's the
on the
deal.
bandwagon.
We're doing it again, giving away $1,000 today. All you got to do is guess who's going to score the first touchdown of the Browns versus Steelers, the final score of the game of the Browns versus Steelers, and share this post, whether you're watching on YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook. If you're on Twitter, obviously you retweet with your score, and follow. If you're on YouTube, you subscribe with your score and do all that fun stuff. And you can always share that YouTube link wherever you want.
Yeah.
We appreciate the love. But that's how we're giving away $1,000 today. And I want everybody to get, I mean, this is the playoffs now. So let's give away this money. Let's give some playoff money away
We
today.
got a few more weeks to give away money.
That's it.
Yeah, win at this one.
Yeah, get in on this $1,000. Once again, if you're watching right now, just guess the final score of the Browns-Steelers, who's going to score the first touchdown, and share this wherever you're watching it, whatever platform.
Would it be fair to say this is the game you're most excited about this weekend?
No, I'm actually most excited about Ravens-Titans. Yeah.
Okay.
That's my kind of football. I love, like, old-school smash-mouth, punch-you-in-the-face football.
Well, but I mean, at the same point, the Cleveland-Pittsburgh rivalry, man.
It is a great rivalry. Listen, it's 1 and 1A. Like,
Yeah.
this is not like I'm not excited for this, but I really love the Ravens and I really love the Titans. But the Browns versus Steelers is going to be a great game.
It is. It is. It's going to be a bloodbath, man. I can't wait for this one. We've got, what, a 47.5 over, and Pittsburgh's given up 6.
Giving up 6.
I'm not the Pittsburgh guy, but I still like them. They're at home. I think that they're kind of figuring things out. They're kind of the Tampa Bay of the AFC, if you will. All kinds of a great defense, strong quarterback, veteran.
Yep.
Got all kinds of running back options, all kinds of offensive options. I think that they get the win. They're going to have to throw the ball a lot. I don't know if Baker's going to be able to keep up.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this on Friday. One of the big factors of this game is Kevin Stefanski being out with COVID. When he should be head coach of the year, essentially. And when he's out, it's going to make a difference. I don't think it's going to make as big of a difference as Adam seems to think it's going to make. He thinks without the head coach, it's just going to cause a bunch of chaos and in-game decisions, which I believe. But I think if you're a good head coach, you prepare your team all week leading up to this.
I don't think there's anything that can prepare a team for this. I think what we saw with the Lions earlier this year, I mean, that was just a massacre. It was debauchery and debacle.
There's no playbook on how to go into a game without your head coach. So
Right.
I don't think Kevin Stefanski, as smart as he is, as great as he is, you can't prepare your team for you not to be there. He's the leader of that team.
Yeah, I think the Browns had a shot until I found out that he wasn't playing.
Oh,
that
really?
He wasn't going to be coaching.
So you think he is that big of a difference?
I think every single team in the NFL without their head coach, you just have a breakdown at every level because you're moving all these guys out of their their level of comfort, and it's, man, I hate it. I would be so upset if I was a Cleveland fan and my first playoff game was looking this way.
So here was our debate on Friday, which I thought was an awesome debate. Would you rather be without your head coach or your starting quarterback? You have to pick. You start a playoff game without one. Which one?
Well, I mean, we're assuming that you have a capable backup. I would rather be without my starting quarterback all day long.
Preach, baby, preach.
My man, we don't agree
Keep
on
going.
much, but we got it here and there.
See, I would rather be without my head coach because obviously, and I guess it is kind of dictating on who your quarterback is. But at this stage in his career, I think Matthew Stafford would be just fine on offense without the head coach.
Bro.
You
You saw how it worked. 7 points.
How many Super Bowl champion quarterbacks like Jeff Hostetler and all these guys out here who are
Trent
just
Dilfer.
backups, you know?
Joe
And
Flacco.
I mean, there's so many guys.
Right,
you
okay,
know?
and then look at the guys with multiple rings like your Peyton Mannings and your Tom Brady's where they essentially became the coach on the field. So if the coach got shot in the head, the offense was still going to function.
What
great.
a
how many other
horrible
quarterbacks
take.
are like
How's
this?
that
That's
a
so
horrible
disrespectful. So disrespectful to
How's
Tony
that
Dungy.
disrespectful?
So disrespectful to Bill Belichick.
That is not disrespectful, man. If you talk to anybody who ever played with Peyton Manning, they will say he was essentially the offensive coordinator. He was on the
Offensive coordinator, not the fucking head coach.
You think the head coach was on the field telling him what to
dropping
do?
like the 3 best quarterbacks of all fucking time.
I said people with multiple You're listing shitty people with Super Bowl wins. I'm listing good people with Super Bowl wins.
Okay.
Like, this is how conversations go.
But those 3 quarterbacks, you can't really put into a comparative conversation because they're the top echelon. You know, I mean, any team without their head coach.
But if you're bringing up Jeff Hostetler, I can bring up Tom Brady because
what
we're
about
talking Super Bowl
what about
performance.
Phil Simms?
Phil Simms, another guy that could probably run the offense on himself without Marv.
And they still won it without him in there. I don't know. You take a coach out of any professional, pretty much, well, maybe not basketball, but professional football team where it's such a
Give me the
chess
same
match
roster.
like that,
Let's
there's
say
no way.
we're both the Chiefs,
Okay.
right? Let's say we both have the Chiefs roster. I'll take Andy Reid. I'm sorry, all season with a better record than that team without Andy Reid.
Ooh, see? Now, that's a great example of what I'm talking about because you honestly have to think. Do you want to play do you think you're going to get more wins without a Patrick Mahomes?
Okay, and again, we're talking about like the most exciting young quarterback of all time. I don't know. Let's put Stafford in that equation.
And I did. That was one of the first names that I mentioned. I would expect him 12 years in that without a head coach, he could take the lead on the offense at minimum.
On the offense, but not the whole team. That's the point. The head coach operates the entire team.
Yeah.
We have won games with backup quarterbacks. We have seen championships won with backup quarterbacks.
And we've gone winless with backup quarterbacks.
The one time...
What happened to Stafford last year when he got injured? We didn't win a fucking game, and we had a head coach and our backup quarterback.
The one time you've ever seen a team
You're using
without
one of the
their
worst
coach
teams in the
that
NFL
week,
as an example.
and they got just completely embarrassed.
We're talking about an 11-5 Cleveland Browns team.
So wait, we want to talk about Stafford, but I can't talk about Stafford. Like, this is the dumbest fucking conversation I've ever had in my life.
You're not
Let's
listening.
talk about
You're not
Stafford.
listening.
Okay, Stafford got injured
You're
last
not
year.
listening.
We had the head
You're
coach.
just talking,
We didn't
and
have
you're
the
not
starting
listening.
quarterback, and we went winless. Stafford once again
You're still
this
not
year,
listening.
head coach injured. You can't
We're
win a game.
talking about an 11-5 team compared to a 5-11 team.
No, you brought up Stafford and said, "Can we talk about it?"
I didn't. You did.
So I prove
I
you
did.
wrong
That
on
was me.
Stafford. I prove you wrong on Brady. I prove you wrong on Peyton.
I think you're like literally one person who thinks you're proving anyone wrong. Nobody else agrees with you.
You
I have
two
no idea
don't
what you're
because
talking about.
You won't want to acknowledge that it's staring you right in the face, and you guys just want to say, no, it's all the head coach.
So what you're telling me is that today Baker Mayfield could have a huge ass game
he
and
could
win this.
He could.
Oh man, I'll take that money.
You'll take that money?
Yeah.
Okay. Baker Mayfield could.
I do owe you some lunch. It's getting late towards the end of the season.
The one person I think is going to have a big game today is the Browns rushing game. Like, to me, that's the matchup we need to be watching. The Steelers finished, like, worst in rushing defense. Worse. And the Browns are great.
Cleveland has to dominate time of possession today. That's the key to winning for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got two of the best running backs in the league. The running game's been on point all season long, and you can't stop anybody through the air on defense. So they've got to be able to slow down Ben Roethlisberger and take the ball out of his hands.
Do you think they can?
100%.
I think Myles Garrett is going to keep
if they
his
had
helmet
their
on.
fucking coach. But they don't.
Yeah. Without their coach, these guys forget how to play football. They're just going to lay down on the field, all 11 of them. They won't know what to do. They won't know about their assignments at all.
It's not about those guys. It's literally about those extra couple of seconds that a guy that doesn't know what he's doing, that's calling plays out of his comfort zone, every play, all 60 minutes, that stuff starts to add up. And, I don't see it, man.
Okay.
No way.
Yeah, well, a coach could call every play he wants, but if you don't have the people to execute it, doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't.
Adam, does he have
If you think
Cleveland
coaching
today?
is just play calling, I don't know what to tell you.
I know it's more than play calling, but if you could put the people in the right positions, but they still don't have the arm strength to execute,
Yes,
they
but
don't
you're
have
not
the
taking
timing.
into account that things change during the game. And that's why, for example, Sean McVay is 37-0 after halftime if he walks into halftime with a lead.
Sean McVay's a great
because
coach.
Because he preps.
Sean McVay's a great coach. I'm not arguing that.
Yes.
All right,
I know,
Dapper
but you're missing.
Dave, put your money where your mouth is. 6 points. Is Cleveland going to cover it?
No. No, not at all.
Why?
Because I believe the Steelers got back on track 2 weeks ago in that second half versus the Colts. They got their rhythm again. Then they sat them last week against the Browns. They sat everybody.
Got
so
some
they
fresh
really
legs.
didn't show what they were going to do. The Browns, I mean, I like this matchup, but I honestly think the Steelers are going to run away with this game. They have an opportunity to, at least.
I like this one to be close.
Okay.
I definitely like this
What
one
does
to be
close mean to you?
Within a touchdown. I just think that there's too much on the line for Cleveland, having not been in the playoffs for so long, this rivalry game. There's going to be a lot of emotion carried over to Pittsburgh with them. I don't think it'll be enough to win, but I think it's going to be a close one. I don't see this one, either team running away with it.
Adam, who do you got on this game?
You already know. I got the Steelers. This is super easy. No Stefanski, no win.
No Stefanski, but you have them 26-18. So you have them. You have the Steelers covering as well.
Yep.
See, now this is where I go a little off base than everybody. I got the Steelers running away with this game, 37-17. That's my final score. Yep.
I like 30-20.
30-20.
They're going to go over, I think, and it's going to be again like the Chicago game. Cleveland's going to get a late score to kind of make it look a little better than it was.
I hope these are all great games today. Like, even though I'm predicting this to be a blowout, if it's a smash mouth football game and Myles Garrett is lighting people up and we're seeing, Juju out there dancing and getting lit up over the middle, like that's all I'm looking forward to is exciting football.
Yeah. One big sack can change an entire playoff game.
Yeah, or an interception like we saw yesterday with the Rams. That pick six is, to me, that's one of the best pick sixes I've ever seen. And did you know that pick six on a screen was the first pick six on a wide receiver screen this year in the NFL?
That seems very far-fetched.
I know, but those are facts is facts.
I do feel like there was a little bit less of that this season. A lot of people were jumping those. I didn't see. I mean, you always see it in the Rams. I know he's a big fan of that. It seems like Kupp and Robert Woods are catching those all the time. But that's an interesting stat. A lot of good stat drops, deep cuts today.
Thanks, man. We're a sports network, so we try to bring the heat.
Yes.
You want to kind of get into the MVP, offensive player, and all that talk. We did this earlier in the week on the morning show. We called them the Woodies. So let's give Anson's Woodies. Or if you want to ask questions, we can debate them.
Well, I figured this would be a hot topic between the two of you guys.
What? Me and Adam? We agree on everything.
Usually, right? So we already hit the MVP. Adam, you don't like Rodgers for it. I do like Rodgers for it. You do as well?
Yeah, I think you got to give it to him this year.
Okay,
you take Rodgers off that team and what happens?
Because you're putting words in my mouth.
Uh-oh.
Aaron Rodgers is deserving of the MVP. Don't get me wrong. 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, exceptional year. But Josh Allen accounted for 46 touchdowns this year. 37 passing, 9 on the ground. I feel like we're not appreciating Josh Allen's accomplishment this season enough. The Packers were 13-3 last year. They're 13-3 this year. Aaron Rodgers, yes, statistically has had a much better year. But Josh Allen brought this team their first division title since '96, and yesterday their first playoff win, I think, since '95.
I don't think so. I think their head coach brought them that. Right?
I'm not going to argue with you. This is like the dumbest
you
thing
like
ever.
that?
I did like that one.
Josh Allen didn't do
can't even
shit.
get mad
His
at you
head
on
coach
that
did
one.
everything. No.
Yep.
You make some great points. You really do. You got a young guy that is taking a team that hasn't seen success for a long, long time aside from last year. That's a tough one, man. And you don't like Pat Mahomes in here at all? What about you?
No, God, no.
No?
He can't be
I
in
don't
that
think so
conversation.
either.
Too many interceptions late on in the year.
I think he's always in that conversation just after last year. Like, it's going to be a perpetual. He's going to be mentioned in the conversation. I don't think he's the MVP this year, but
Derrick Henry deserves to be more in the conversation than Patrick Mahomes.
yes. Oh, 100%. I agree on that. I like to play this game with MVP. Take him off the team, and what are they?
True.
You take Patrick Mahomes off that team, and honestly, it affects the team a lot. You take
They're
Derrick,
probably a 10-win, 11-win team.
yeah. You take Derrick Henry off the Titans, and my God, what are they? Like, honestly,
You make Ryan Tannehill a thrower, and then they become a disaster.
yeah, and then that becomes Ryan Tannehill when he was in Miami without a running game.
It's kind of like the Lions, basically, without Derrick Henry.
Yeah, better coach,
Better defense, too,
better
I suppose.
defense. Yeah, a little bit, but that's how when I'm picking my MVP, and then you take Aaron Rodgers off the Packers. Like, what are they?
They're trash.
Exactly. So that's why you watch this guy extend plays. You watch this guy make things happen. I hate him.
That's
I
what people
absolutely
said
hate
about
him.
Aaron Rodgers when he walked in over Brett Favre.
What's that?
Then 2 years later, they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. No, I hate Aaron Rodgers. I do. But it's like Jordan.
You plug in
back when he
Jordan
was-
Love, I think they win 11 games. I don't
think?
see why they can't win 10, 11 games.
with Jordan Love.
They have a good defense. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They have a good defense. I think
time
they
will
lose a little
tell.
bit on offense, but
I mean, Jordan Love will get some run eventually, but I don't know if that was the worst draft you could have ever had or the best draft. Because look at what you got out of your
motivated him.
starter. Yeah, you motivated the shit out of him. So even if
Yeah,
you
that's
didn't
a good
really,
point.
that's what I'm saying. Like psychologically for the team, not so great. Psychologically for the team, it worked out pretty well. So maybe management knows a little bit more about how to push Aaron Rodgers' buttons than we do. 'Cause
There's some really good wide receivers out there that they could have as their number 2 right now, though.
yes. Yeah.
But, I never thought about that. That's a great point. They really lit the fire under his ass with that draft.
And that's good. I mean, everybody's motivated differently. Like some guys, you need to yell at them to motivate them. Other guys, you need to talk to them with respect to motivate them. Other guys, you just need to leave the fuck alone and let them do their job. Like everybody has different stages of motivation. And apparently Aaron Rodgers is, hey, buddy, we're seeing you at the end of your career. And we're going to draft your backup. If you don't mind coaching him up, because when you leave here, we want to be ready to fill your position.
Yeah.
Like if anybody said that, that would piss him off.
Well, and he's such a strange cat, man.
Diva.
They picked the perfect button to push.
Yeah.
So give me your vote. Who you voting?
Aaron Rodgers is my
Aaron
MVP.
Rodgers.
Yeah.
Rodgers for me as well. Adam?
if I was to vote, if the NFL gave me a vote, I'd have Josh Allen at 1 and Rodgers at 2.
Yeah. They're pretty close to a 1A and 1B. It'll be interesting to see who gets it. It's got to be Rodgers, though, Mr. Discount. They love that.
I mean,
double
look,
check in the
48
NFL.
touchdowns, 5 interceptions. That is amazing. I'm not discrediting that.
And anybody who's thrown for 45 touchdowns, there's been 5 people to do it. They've all won MVPs. So there's kind of like a precedent to this.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I know. But
Mahomes
Josh
last
Allen,
year.
37 touchdown passes,
No, I get it.
13-3 record.
Listen, I think if anything, the Josh Allen argument sways his way because it's with the Bills.
Yeah.
You know,
for
like
sure.
it becomes more of a romantic story what he's done with the Bills.
Well, I mean, it's not like the Packers all of a sudden are a contender, you know, when
Right.
what's
I
happened
told you,
with the Bills the
13-3
last
last
2 years.
season.
Yeah.
They had the same record.
All right, who else you got, Anson?
So the offensive rookie of the year, or not rookie, excuse me, offensive player of the year. We touched on Henry earlier. We've obviously talked about Allen and Rodgers here. 2,000 yards, is that enough to win? What about you? What
I'd
do you
like to think so, yes.
Yeah, me
But
too.
I wouldn't hate people if they gave it to Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Well, and that's how you got to kind of play this game. Like if you're giving your MVP to Josh Allen, then you got to give your offensive player of year to Aaron Rodgers. If you're giving
Yeah,
your
I'd be okay with
Aaron
that,
Rodgers,
but it's
Well,
difficult for
right.
me.
Wait a
I'm giving
second,
my
though.
MVP to Aaron Rodgers, so I'm going to do my offensive player to Derrick Henry.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, how many times have we seen 2,000 yards rushing in the NFL in history?
Not many.
You know, I mean,
Well, I've seen Calvin Johnson break the NFL record for receiving yards, and he didn't win Offensive Player of the Year.
who did win
so-
it that year?
I don't know, some fuckhead.
Not a lion.
Statistically correct.
Not a lion.
Yeah, so I got Derrick Henry being
I
my
do
guy
too.
there too.
Three votes for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're all in.
So defensive player of the year, a lot of people were talking about T.J. Watt coming into this last week, and then when you see what Aaron Donald did and the impact that he had yesterday, does that change that?
I actually went an opposite way on this. I went DB.
Adrian Peterson won Offensive Player of the Year. What the fuck,
What do you
man?
have? He probably had 2,000 yards rushing that year.
That
He
was
did.
the year he came back, correct?
Off his ACL.
Yeah, that was the big year
damn
for
it.
him. I mean,
Bevel,
it's
baby,
tough.
Bevel.
Tough. Yeah, you got to give it to Bevel.
You said you had defensive back.
Yeah, Ramsey. I'd pick Ramsey as my defensive player of the year. And I know that's kind of off kilter and not exactly, you know, the Watts of the world.
I
Fine.
appreciate his opinion on that, actually.
The
I think it's
hard
very
part is
deserving.
yeah, you don't have the statistics that back it up, but when you look
Yeah.
at game plan and the fact that
Visually.
nobody's throwing the ball that
Yeah.
way, it does make a huge
Green
impact.
Bay's corner, Alexander, similar concept. May not have the
stud.
amazing stats to back it up, but you know, I don't think you go wrong with TJ Watt. I'd love to see Aaron Donald win it, but
Yeah.
you know,
No,
I'm not a voter.
what pushed me into the Ramsey court was their last game against the Cardinals and what he did to Nuke. Like he's owned that guy, and then obviously he got a little lit up by DK yesterday, but that late touchdown really doesn't count.
Nope.
And then there was one big broken play. So outside those broken plays, he only had like 3 receptions for 44 yards.
Yeah, none of those were accounted
On Ramsey?
towards Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, he only gave up 3 catches, 22 yards.
Yeah, dude's a shutdown machine, and that's what I think elevated the Rams from good to great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I picked Ramsey.
Who the hell shuts down DK anyway, really, you know?
I mean,
He's not Megatron. Anybody can fucking shut him down. He's proven that
Adam
already.
hates him.
I know.
Well, no, his last 3 games, he really didn't do shit, but he did. He had a hell of a game yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, they can figure out a little bit because he doesn't have that route tree, but he's just he's a giant.
Yeah, he is a monster.
He really is.
They
what
had to
else you
line
got?
him up on the complete opposite side of the field to avoid Jalen Ramsey. He's not a top 5 receiver, man.
I need votes on defense. Who we got here?
Oh, I got Jalen Ramsey.
For sure.
Yeah.
And
I got
you?
Aaron Donald.
Me too.
But TJ Watt is also deserving. I don't want to throw
Yeah.
him under the bus.
I don't want to forget him.
And then rookie of the year. This one's tough.
This one is tough. We went back and forth. Adam, who'd you take? You took Herbert, right?
I ended up going with Herbert. It's so hard. He broke so many records, and so did Justin Jefferson. Like, whoever won, I wasn't going to be mad, but I would have given it to Herbert.
Yeah, and I picked Justin Jefferson.
I'm going with Jefferson with a slight edge, only because Herbert didn't really win a lot of games.
Right.
You know? And from the wide receiver
He won
position,
the same amount of games as the fucking Vikings.
I was
for
gonna
sure.
say.
But as a wide receiver, you can only influence the game so much. And when you got a guy that's
Exactly.
running the entire offense, and he only wins so many,
my point.
eh.
And I understand both sides of this argument.
I mean,
like,
you got basically
But
the best
I'll give
wide
you this.
receiver
I'll give
numbers
you this,
ever as a
Ensign.
rookie.
It's harder as a rookie receiver to walk in and dominate the way Justin Jefferson did than when you're a quarterback and you have control of the football every play.
right.
Agreed.
Because
More-
if Burrow stays healthy, he's challenging Herbert, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, well, I think he would have won it outright if he stays healthy.
Yeah. So, but Justin Jefferson, anytime you come in, you break Randy Moss's record. You got my vote. I love Randy Moss. I love that's the type of dude I love.
You know he's got my vote.
Who, Jefferson? Yeah, because you fleeced a dude in our fantasy football league for him. Actually, you didn't really fleece him now that the season's played out, but you got the extended end of that deal.
I did kind of give him Aaron Rodgers.
You did give him Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do get Jefferson for quite some time. But
yeah, you got Jefferson now for 4 more years after this, and he has no more Aaron Rodgers. So you got a better end of that deal.
I didn't think he would be better than Randy Moss.
You didn't?
I did not.
Yeah, I thought he'd be good.
He's not better than Randy Moss.
Right?
Randy Moss was a better rookie than Justin Jefferson.
I think that he's the next Antonio Brown.
Okay.
Oh, that's
I think
not
he's
good.
the next Stephon Diggs.
That's a better comparison.
Yeah,
Antonio
because
Brown,
he
why would you
literally
compare him to
fucking took
Antonio
his
Brown?
spot. Just filled it in.
I mean, I know that they've been running him down the field and he's been making a lot of big plays, but I think as we see him settle in as the number one that he's destined to be, I think you're going to see the ability to get open, his route tree.
I think a better comparison would be Julio Jones. Vertical deep threat, can run the 15 digs, can get you short routes if you need it, can run the slants, but he's a 10, 15 yard and up kind of receiver.
I think he's the next Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. If we're going to compare him, I like to compare him. He looks a lot like Allen Robinson to me.
I do like that.
That's, to me, the same type of build, same type of size, same type of game.
Yep. I think he's a little quicker.
Yep.
And Robinson's probably a little better going up, but and getting those high point balls. But I do like that comparison.
Well, we can't get out of here without talking about a little bit of Lions talk, right? Or did you have another rookie that you wanted to go through or anything like that?
We were just going to do the defensive, but I think that's a landslide. We all know Chase
That was
Young,
unanimous.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're not worried about that.
We don't even have to talk about that. So Lions, they had an interview with Saleh. They've also brought in a couple other people for GM. I'm seeing that they're reaching out, which I thought was, I like this guy, Bowles, the coach. They're reaching out to him for an interview. The Marvin Lewis interview supposedly went really well. Yeah. What do you guys think the Lions are thinking right now? Where are they leaning? Online and everybody's talking Saleh.
Now, and I'm wondering, is that track record or is that local boy?
I think it's both.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's like, oh, wow, we found the combination. You know, it's not just a guy that is from Michigan. It's a guy from Michigan who's earned it. We kind of had that before in Mooch. Different team, though.
Well, and when you transition from a fat slug to a big badass dude like that, it's got to be a little more exciting, right?
Yeah, I mean, he clearly takes more pride in himself than Patricia did.
Yes,
clearly.
A little bit more pride, dude.
Saleh checks more boxes, really, than most coaches that are going to transition into the NFL head coaching position right now. And I'll tell you, especially if he goes to Detroit, and I'll tell you why. Definitely a motivator. And that's so important. You got to establish a winning culture room attitude. Sean McVay did a great job of that. When he took over from Jeff Fisher, that locker room was shit. Nobody was happy. He changed it. You got to expect Saleh to come and do this with the same team.
You need a little Jim Schwartz in Saleh.
Has to.
Yeah.
He has to.
You need Schwartz,
the rah.
A way better version of it.
Yeah, no, I'm talking the rah-rah. I'm not talking the X and O's.
You need the rah-rah, but with the exceptional coaching, exceptional game planning. Look what he did. 2-3 weeks ago against the Seahawks with the Niners. Held them to 3 points at halftime, or 6 points, I'm sorry. And that was a meaningless game for the Niners. The dude is, and I think Richard Sherman speaks very highly of him. That alone in itself is more than Matt Patricia's ever gotten in his life.
Yeah, when your players are endorsing you like that.
Saleh checks more boxes.
Yeah.
Especially a sharp man like Sherman, dude.
Yeah, Sherman is super smart. Stanford cornerback, played under Pete Carroll for a long time. Now he loves Robert Saleh. And just all the reports about this guy and how he has the locker room, that's such an important thing for a coach.
That is paramount if you're going to come to Detroit.
Right.
Like Adam said, the culture.
Yeah, look at the Niners. I know they missed Jimmy Garoppolo the year that they drafted Bosa, but they didn't just give up. They played hard, man. And there's a reason they went to the Super Bowl the following year, because they didn't check out even when Jimmy G was out.
How many injuries did they suffer this year, and they still were competitive?
Too many, and they still had a top 5 defense.
Sure.
At one point, they had $80 million of payroll on the IR.
Wow.
I remember talking about that mid-season. $80 million of payroll on IR, and they were still a competitive football team. Like that, you want to talk about being hamstrung? That is crazy.
They got Josh Smith on the team?
Yeah, they're still paying Josh Smith.
For real.
Oh, so glad that contract's over. So
Is
yeah.
it? Are you sure?
Yeah, I hope so. So yeah, exciting day of football ahead of us. I'm ready to do this. Gonna go home, plop on my couch, and live tweet pretty much every game. So make sure you're following us at Woodward Sports on everything. And you pretty much have till 8:15 tonight to get that guess in.
Yep.
Who's gonna score the first touchdown in the Browns-Steelers game? What the final score is gonna be? And share this on whatever platform you're watching: YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook.
Sharing is most important, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Win that $1,000 and then dress like Dapper Day.
Yeah, this is my new look, man.
I love it.
I'm going to go blazers and T-shirts from here on out.
Excellent.
Yeah, I got told I was dressing a little too scrubby. So my
You brought the hoodie.
Yeah.
You did bring the hoodie.
I bring the hoodie strong.
You do.
That's like hoodies and Timberlands will always be my favorite thing.
Yeah, there you go.
So Adam, what are you planning for the game today? Real quick.
I'm just gonna watch football the whole time.
All right.
I'm gonna chill.
Any snacks
Watch the
or
games.
anything you got planned?
No snacks. No, I've been healthy the last 3 weeks. I'm gonna keep that up. I've been doing a great job with that.
Attaboy.
Attaboy.
But I gotta work today, so I have shit to do.
You seen the changes?
Oh
Your
yeah.
body?
Oh yeah.
Good stuff.
Anson, what are you planning on doing?
Kettle corn, man. I have been obsessed with kettle corn lately.
All right.
Getting a bunch of kettle corn and smoking a blunt with my dogs and watching some football.
I will be doing very similar to that, minus the kettle corn.
Okay.
So have a great wild card Sunday. Enjoy the games. We'll be on tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. with the Morning Wood to go over all the games of today. And tomorrow, special guest on the Baligian and Bell show, Eric Ebron, after his playoff performance. So make sure you watch Ebron tonight at 8:15.
He'll be dropping shit everywhere.
Oh, God. We'll see you tomorrow.